Hello and welcome to an SFM tutorial. This is actually going to be the first time I'm making a tutorial on animation software, but it's going to be pretty simple. Now, obviously, you need to have SFM installed, which I honestly don't know how big it is, but it's pretty big. So if you have like an extra USB, you may want to install it on that. Now, to get started, obviously, you're gonna see a window up here that you need a tutorial. You need to start this up. So what you do is you go into here, obviously, and then name it whatever the heck you want. So obviously, I'm just gonna name my tutorial again. Now, here's all the frame rate. If you have a good computer, I'd say use 60 or 72, like 48, 60, 72, because sometimes with long animations, you actually have to put them all into an blender, and then you need to export every single frame. But sometimes that can actually crash if it's way too long. That actually happened to me once. So I honestly would keep it at 24, because sometimes it's good at 24. So press Control L or click and do here. See, no map loaded. So when you see that, press Load Map and it will show every single map. I honestly, for the starter one, I would prefer stage_big.bsp. Press Open, and you'll see a loading map symbol, and then you got your map. Now, zoom out. You can use click, like the normal left click to move around. Right click is to like turn off stuff like settings and crap. But I honestly would prefer, if you have a slow PC, turn off enable lighting, even though it doesn't look that good. But if you do have a slow PC as well, you can still use progressive refinement, which kind of improves your frame rate. So now what you want to do is either you can record your gameplay by pressing this, either go into first person or third person camera, but I would honestly prefer first person because then you can see everything that's happening. So press record and it will show you in the game. And as you can see, it may be a little loud, but as you can see, everything works perfectly. Although the only thing that sucks is that this is an old version, so you have to animate everything if you want to, like, such as like an engineer moving objects. Right now, I do not know how to change games, but just press escape when you're done. And look, it shows my little character. I can actually change into the camera. I have no idea what that is. I think that's pretty loud. Here, I'll turn it down. So when you do that, now you have the entire thing set up. Now, you may be thinking, but I can't animate it. There's no way I can animate it. What you want to do when you animate it is go into this plus, go into animation sets for existing elements, press player HWM scout.mdl, press OK. Now when you do that, it shows the scout up here and you can actually freely move them around, but it may not work correctly all the time because it does have a bunch of keyframes already. I don't know if that messes it up, but yeah. Now obviously you can still do stuff like mess around and lip sync and crap, because watch, it stays the same. So the entire time you can edit whatever the heck you want. Now, that's not really useful when you do that, because it isn't always the most effective way of... Oh, I can't do that. Well, I was going to say, it's not the most effective way of making an animation. So if you did that, press just Control N, press create again, continue without saving, and you're done. Now, I don't know why there's bullet holes here, but there is. There's just random bullet holes here. Probably because I shot the wall. So when you're gonna be like, well, if that's not the most effective way of animating, what is? Go into this plus, go into animation set for new model, and go in here and, I'm going to use probably the spy. So player HWM spy. It will not, if you want to do lip syncing, it's not going to work with the normal spy.mdl because the spy.mdl does not work good. It does not work good. It does not lip sync, but through audio cues, you have to lip sync it manually, which is literally, it's torture. So when you do that, it's going to show the model. You can't move it though. Even if you click on it, you can't move it because the camera moves. What you want to do is go into, this is the motion editor, which is where technically you can animate here. Wouldn't prefer it because technically it's made for moving stuff around, but you can still animate with it. But once you do, this is for your starting pose technically. So when you do this, just move them over here. Now you're probably going to see this instead of this. This is for moving the character around, on like moving it around, but not rotating it in any way, which you can access by pressing W without holding down left click. E is for rotation. You can even rotate it like this for like a ball, kind of like a globe, and then you can also rotate it just through the axes. But I would prefer pressing R because you can move and rotate at the same time. Now you may be wondering, how the heck did I get the pelvis and crap selected so I can move it around? What you need to do is hold down Control on your keyboard, click on one of the bones, then you can move it around just fine. Now, you don't have to press enter, even though down here, okay, so usually people press enter. You don't have to do that. It doesn't really mess anything up, I haven't seen, but if there's something that does mess up, then just tell me in the comments. But for now, try and press enter. Usually I forget, but it doesn't really mess me up when I do that. Now, I got a starting pose. It's just a normal, I just put his arms down, didn't really move his lower arms. You can also move his head and stuff, like his head, his neck, the spine. I'm actually going to do that real quick. Now, you got the animation. Well, not an animation, you have a starting pose. So how do I make, you may be thinking, how do I make it move? Because there's no way, it's not moving. Again, go into the graph editor by pressing either F4 or just clicking on it. I actually think you can press F2, F3. You have to press F2 for the clip editor, which I'll tell you about later, F3 for the motion editor, and F4 for the graph editor. The graph editor is mainly used for animations. So what you do here is I can grab the spy's arm, either add a keyframe like this, or I honestly just like tapping this and then it adds a keyframe because it thinks it moved. And then move it up, and then I forgot. If you see this saying stepped, either change that to curve fit, which curve fit I have not really tried out. It does this. Let's see. It's mostly just like It's more like an ease in out kind of thing, which I'm sure most people would use. What you're going to see is probably Spline, which tries and smooths out the animation. So if I did this, it doesn't look that smooth until you move it around more. It kind of looks like a player is moving it. For this tutorial, I'm probably going to use Curve Fit, which I am not used to yet. So, now, when you do that, you can either move it using the arrow keys, which is what I always do because it's frame perfect, and then just move it like this, and then you're done. But you can also select different limbs and bones and try and move those, which I think, I mean, everybody does that. I just do it like everybody's gonna do it a lot because you have to do it for every single bone, which, I mean, sure, it can be a hassle, but sometimes it can not. So as you can see here, I'm just putting his arm up. Now the camera is going to be a little messed up. It's going to show the place where you first put him, so you cannot animate the camera unless you add it as an existing element or add a new camera. So as you can see here, just a short little animation of him moving his arm. But you can also grab other arms and, you know, move those. Now, you're gonna probably, when you get your animation all done, then pretty simple. It's just gonna be like this. Alright, I got my animation done. It's just simple, him moving his arms. But you can also add accessories, which can be a little bit odd. So what you need to do is go create animation set for new model. And, you know, search up whatever the heck you want. I'm going to just add probably like a hat, because I am not used to adding stuff like clothing, but it's still the same thing, technically. I'll add this on. Oh, yeah, by the way, here, do not select the one that doesn't say HWM, or wait, yeah, HWM, because this one does not have lip syncing capabilities, so. Move. So I'll just get this one. It is like winter, technically. Now, when you do that, you're going to see a root transform and a bip head. Bip head, I'm pretty sure, works the same. You just do this, and then oh no, it does not move with the head. I think you have to put the bip head from the character into, yeah, you do. Which, simple, you just move the bip head into bip head. And then the hat moves along with it. But it's out of place. So what you want to do is just move bip head here and move it onto the spy. It's not that hard, actually. It's just a simple move. No, once you do that, you can also customize the hat, even animate it. But once you do that, you're just gonna have him raising his hands up. But you could also add him moving his head. It's gonna show two bip heads. This bip head is for the hat. This bip head is for the spy. So now we have him just like looking at, technically at the camera, I guess. But instead of adding sound effects from an editor, which I usually hate that because you don't know how, you have to do it in the exact amount of time. Instead of doing that, you can also just add dialogue, or, you know, any of these if you're adding music or effects. Add clip to track. I'll just add a, I'm doing a voice thing, so VO/spy.
Activate the charge, Doctor.
So now, it's probably going to say something. I'll just do _ negative.
Preposterous.
Now, when you do that, press open. It's going to have the...
Preposterous.
It's going to have that audio clip, the same one that you selected.
Preposterous.
But its lips don't move. So to do that, select the sound clip. Go to face, right click, extract phonemes. Click it. It's gonna, this is the word, this is the exact word he's going to say. Extract.
Preposterous.
And it moves.
Preposterous.
Make sure you're only selecting the
Preposterous.
face. I don't know what happens if you select body. I'll actually see that real quick. I'm sure it breaks. Oh! Facial controls need to be selected to extract phonemes. So you need to actually select the face. Now, if you want to add more, you can just simply go back into the graph editor, move him around. Oh, you can also add narration. I forgot about that. So it's going to say my voice, and you can actually... Oh, crap. I wish I didn't delete that. Okay, there. So it has narration, so hold on, I'll let you listen real quick. Oh, you can also add narration. So when you do that, you can also add the same thing. You can just add normal extract phonemes, but it's not going to show the text. So you have to add... So, look. Oh, you can also add narration. And it perfectly does it by itself for you. So. Oh, you can also add narration. Oh, by the way, it's not going to get rid of the,
Hi. You can also add narration.
It's not going to get rid of the phoneme thing. So, you...
Hi.
You're going to have to do that. It doesn't get rid of audio clips for some reason either. So extract phonemes.
Hi. Hi.
I'm going to delete that. It's going to keep the phonemes. I don't know how to get rid of the phonemes. Exactly. At least one sound clip must exist to have phonemes.
Hi.
So you have to probably undo it. Now, you can add more clips, such as...
Ah. 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 Preposterous.
And then just, boom. Now.
Preposterous. Ah.
You did it. You made a very short animation. Now to export it, since it's small, and if you do have a good computer-ish, just save right here. Export movie, AVI, do not install QuickTime, because I'm sure you click this, it's going to say QuickTime Player User Guide. It's not for Windows anymore. So, yeah, but what you can do, you can't, I'm sure if you search up QuickTime download for Windows, see, pretty sure this is not real. I'm like very sure this is fake. Even though it says secure on here, I am not sure this is real. I honestly wouldn't risk it. Like there's websites that have like downloads for QuickTime. Look at all this. There's all QuickTime and stuff on here. Those probably have viruses. I would not. See, look, QuickTime. This one right here. Do not press free download. Most likely has a virus in it. So, no. But, you know, pretty simple. So when you do that, export your movie. Just press. Oh, actually, I forgot. Because this may corrupt your animation. You have to make it. You have to make it so. Drag the end of this clip. Move it. Oh, I didn't drag the clip. All right. Move the clip. And when you do that, drag this back. Get rid of the gap.
Preposterous. Ah.
And then, after you do that, it's going to have the exact amount that you need. So press save, AVI, export. It's going to export it. It's probably going to take a little bit. If you have like a 60 frames per second animation, it's probably going to take a while. But once you do that, it's not going to show anything. So go into Files. Unless you set a different, unless you set like a different export area, go into this PC, go into Local Disk, go into Program Files times 86, go into Steam, go into Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, User Mod, Elements, Sessions, and it's going to have all of this on here.
Preposterous. Ah.